It is one of the easiest things, I think, to add into your expenses for your business. It's one of the easiest things to add in.
I don't even know they can.
Yeah. And I would say if you have a business that you have been receiving income for and your tax accountant has not asked you about this, I would look for a new tax accountant. Welcome to the Know Your Worth show, where we teach you how to think about your money differently so that you can achieve your sexy money goals. I'm Sydney, your money maven and owner of Know Your Worth.
And I'm Kristen, Sid's dime piece bestie, team member, and busy mama of twins, here to make sure that those of us without a financial degree can still level up with each episode. Let's get started on reaching your next goal.
Welcome to the Know Your Worth podcast. I am Sydney Conway, one of your hosts, and your money maven.
And I'm Sid's dime piece bestie, Kristen, and assistant, and all the things. Yes. Hi.
And this is episode 20.
I know. I can't believe it. I haven't stuck with 20 of anything.
I know, really, though. This is great. Like, we're on a roll here.
We are on a roll.
Haven't missed a week.
I know.
Go
so
us.
proud of us.
And if you guys have been listening to 20 episodes in a row, thank you. We appreciate it. Go you. You're sticking with it too, getting all the tips and tricks. So that's exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about home office deductions. So as a business owner, as a 1099 contractor, what you can do to use your home office as a deduction for your taxes, a write-off.
All right. Well, I have tons of questions about this. So
Perfect.
You hit it and I will just interject as I do.
All right. So one of the main pieces of having this home office deduction is that it's exclusive and regular use of this space in your house as your office. So it's used exclusively for conducting business. So if it's a particular room in your house, that it is used as your office. You can't say that it's your whole house is used just for your office. It has to truly be like a room in your house or a section of your house that you can measure.
So here's my question. I work from home. I have 2 kids. I'm not in an office all the time. I have a room in my house that is our office.
Right.
But I am working from the kitchen counter. I'm working from the sunroom. I'm working from their playroom. I'm working wherever they are. So do I just call the office the deduction space, but I'm all over the place?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what it would be. You'd have the separate office as like, this is our office. But I mean, a normal business owner is working from 1,000 different places. Right. So as long as you can really say like this area of the house for the square footage purposes is exclusively office use, and you can kind of separate that and stand by that, yes, you can use that particular room. You wouldn't want to say, you know, I work 20% in my kitchen and 30% over here and 40% over here. It just would probably be a red flag if you really called it out like that or tried to get a ton of deductions from it, given like it might be hard. I'm not, an IRS agent, so I don't know what they're typically looking for in that deduction, but you just want to make sure that it's something that you can stand by your reasoning and your logic for. So having a room, square footage specifically broken out in relation to the square footage of your house is the guidance that is recommended.
Is there like a ratio that you should say? And so if your house is like so much square footage, like it has to be, like you can't say it's like almost the whole house.
There's a simplified option too for calculating your home office. So if you wanted to just do all of your bills of your house by this specific area, so you're not able to say the Wi-Fi in this room is specifically for the office, the cable in this room is specifically for the office, the electric, the mortgage payment. If you can't attribute the very specific things to the business and you're taking percentages, you'd use the simplified option. And that would be just taking the square footage of the office versus the house and then multiplying it by that percentage by all of those bills.
Gotcha.
So that would be the simplified option. And when you're calculating that, you can use up to 300 square feet.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. So, and I think it's that the prescribed rate or the simplified rate is like $5 a square foot is what the very, very simplified option is for that.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you can directly attribute bills that are specifically business related, they're solely for that office. Like if you have a way to differentiate it or you have 2 Wi-Fi routers, one's for the office and say is like your business Wi-Fi, you have like Comcast for Business or something like that, and it's truly the business Wi-Fi, then that whole piece of that would be a write-off.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you do want this to be the principal place of business. So if you have another full-blown office that you're at every single day, you really can't call your home office your home office. If
Really?
you are, yes, so it has to be the principal place. So if you're going other places to work, you would just want to be confident in saying like, I do work majority of the time at home, or that you would be comfortable supporting that if you were ever to be audited. I do think it's pretty common that people go work in other places and then also write off their home office. But you, if say you're never at home and you want to write off a whole home office, I just know that,
Yeah,
it's
factored that a little.
generally supposed to be for the principal place of your business. Again, like you're the one that has to support and be comfortable with what you're claiming.
Mhm.
So there are lots of ways to just get deductions. It doesn't always mean that they are applicable to you and they're right in that situation. So the true IRS guideline is that it must be your principal place of business, the place where you meet your patients, your clients, your customers in the normal course of your business. Or it can be a separate structure not attached to your home. So, say you used your garage for your business, or you used a structure on your property. You can claim that whole thing, but it's typically supposed to be where the primary place of business is conducted.
So I have a Maverick membership, and I
Mhm.
come here. Well, I used to come here all the time to work,
Right.
but now I don't get to anymore. So that wouldn't be a flag because I have the membership and it's an option, but it's not where I come all the time.
Right. And I think co-working spaces are a little bit different too, because it's just a membership to a space. The business isn't paying for the utilities. The business isn't paying
Gotcha.
for the Wi-Fi. You're just paying a membership to belong somewhere else. It would be similar to joining a networking group that gave you access to a space or something like that. So if you're going and bouncing around to meet new people or have somewhere else to work, that's not considered your full-time office.
Oh.
You would just have like a membership there. So your full-time office can still be at your house, your primary place, but you can still have, memberships to pop in different places to work. That would be like saying you couldn't go to Starbucks and pay $5 for, $25 a day if you're getting coffee and food.
Right.
And that's the same thing as getting like a day pass to a co-working space or something like that.
Oh.
So the simplified option was just kind of taking that $5 a square foot up to 300 square feet. The regular method is where you would go through and you would calculate all of these different items. So it would include your mortgage interest, your insurance, utilities, repairs, and depreciation. And then it would also include any of the furniture that's actually in that. And that's where some of that depreciation would be considered as well. So say you bought a massive desktop, and that might be something that's an asset on your books because it's a company property, but the depreciation of that home office and the furniture in there would also be a typical business expense too.
When do you use the simplified option and when do you use the regular method? Is
It's-
that something your tax accountant does?
You would do that. You would have to prepare that. And I would say you would want to do whichever one probably gets you more.
Mhm.
So if you know that you really don't have a lot of expenses, or you don't calculate it, like you don't keep track of it, at the end of the year, you can do the simplified method. But if you're somebody, it would be like your standard deduction versus saving all the receipts, for tax
Gotcha.
time. You can get the standard deduction, or you can save all the receipts. You can calculate it all yourself and you can get more, but you have to have all the support for it.
Mhm.
So for the regular method, you would just have to have all the support for it, where the simplified method, you don't necessarily have to have all the support for it.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There are some limitations to this.
Obviously, it's
Yes,
the government.
exactly.
Go ahead.
So the limitations are that the home office deduction that you take cannot exceed the gross income from the business minus your home business expenses.
Okay.
So your business, you can't put yourself into a net loss just by adding your home office. It would
Okay.
only be up to the point of you showing a loss. You
Okay.
couldn't put yourself into
In the
the negative with
negatives.
your home business expense and then say, "Oh, I don't owe any money on taxes." It would be that it would reduce your tax liability, but it can't throw you into the negative.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it can only reduce to basically zero. So say you were showing net income in the books of, we're just going to use easy small numbers, $100, and your home office is $105.
Mhm.
You wouldn't show then a -5. You would just show 0.
Gotcha.
You'd only be able to write off the amount that would get you to that.
Which you would
Number.
think. I mean, that seems
Right.
logical. A lot of the
Exactly.
stuff that you explained that the government wants does not seem logical to me, like sales taxes.
Yep.
This seems logical.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on sales taxes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, sales taxes are tough. A lot of people are stuck on those all the time.
yeah, that episode blew my mind. All right, go ahead.
You definitely want to make sure that you keep good records for this. Keep your detailed expenses, what you're using for your home, so that you can calculate everything accurately. And also for the IRS audit, if that would ever happen to you,
Mhm.
you want to have all those records and all those receipts available. Luckily, a lot of our home office stuff is digital at this
Mhm.
point. So it's very easy to pull up what your mortgage interest was for the year. It's very easy to pull up what your utilities for the year were. But having that calculation saved, so where you would add everything up, maybe in an Excel spreadsheet, so that you have that. Know Your Worth has a home office deduction calculator that we can send you
Oh, awesome.
if
Of
you're
course you
interested.
do.
Yeah.
Of course
Yeah,
you do.
we do. We have that available. It's one of the first templates that I build out, actually. So
That's super cool.
all you have to do is go through your personal expenses and kind of fill everything in. It'll total it all up. You put in the square footage of your office, the square footage of your house, and it'll tell you what the deduction is for that.
Super awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. There's like special forms that go with like everything that we talk about.
Yes.
Is there a form that goes with this?
Yes. So Form 8829, if you are using the
Write that
regular
down.
method. Yes, the 8829, if you're using the regular method, expenses related to the business use of your home are calculated on this form.
Okay.
So, and it's filed with your Form 1040 at the end of the year. Mm-hmm.
You're a genius.
Well, Google helps me a lot too. So, your tax professionals and your CPAs and all of your licensed professionals and any of your professional services, people are Googling things
So
too.
you can
We
Google.
just know where to Google, and what resources to look at. But yeah, it's difficult to go through all the forms and things that are required. So
Right.
leave it to us. We'll figure it out and we'll get back to you on it.
Well, I have another question because now that I've learned about different state requirements, is this different in every state or is it the same in all?
Some states are different. Yes.
Of
So
course they are.
some states are different. You always want to be aware of your specific state and the requirements that they have. So always go onto your state website, just do a quick Google. So that is the gist of the home office deductions. It is one of the easiest things, I think, to add into your expenses for your business. It's one of the easiest things to add in.
I don't even know they can.
Yeah. And I would say if you have a business that you have been receiving income for and your tax accountant has not asked you about this, I would look for a new tax accountant.
Yeah.
I would say, you want a tax accountant and a bookkeeper, but the tax accountant's the one that's actually filing the main things. So from a bookkeeping perspective, this won't be something that I would add into your business books. This is something that you add in after.
At the end.
Yes, it's on the personal, not on the business. And so with this, you would just want this to be kind of an added in line item on your personal tax return. So it's not necessarily a journal entry in your business books. It's kind of on the back end,
which to me doesn't make sense because it's a business thing, but why is it on your personal?
Right.
It's just another reason why we need professionals in our lives.
Right. Absolutely.
Because if I did your taxes, it'd be like a purple crayon. It's like my kid's calculator.
Yep. No, I mean, it is weird. There's a lot of information that you need to know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information that you need to know.
Yeah.
And if your tax professionals are not guiding you, you really should look and see, are you losing out in deductions and getting these write-offs? Are you losing out on this money? If you're trying to go the cheap route, if you're somebody and even some of the times when you file by yourself, like TurboTax, they kind of walk through, like, do you have a home office? Do you work primarily from home? Like, they do give you good prompts to go through that. You might not know how to collect that data on your own. So if you're filing yourself or you're going through TurboTax or something like that, we went through TurboTax for a long time before having multiple businesses. It's just I feel so much better about going to a tax professional that can give me some more insight. But if they're not helping you kind of raise flags on where you should be focusing your attention on what other deductions you can get, you might want to look somewhere else because that's something that they should be helping. Yeah, they should be helping you with. And I do think that there's a lot of tax professionals out there that come tax season, they're overwhelmed and they can't help you at the end of the year. So it's something where you want to be having conversations with your tax professional throughout the year so that you can be making sure that you have all these deductions lined up.
That's a good point too.
Yeah. So get in front of your tax accountants, get all your receipts, figure out all your stuff. If you need the Excel breakout, we can send that over to you. And again, this typically would be on the back end. So if you're not having this conversation with your bookkeeper, that's normal. You can always ask your bookkeeper. If one of my clients asked me a question like this, I would direct them to this spreadsheet that we have, and I would give them some guidance on what to put. But I'm not the one that would actually be filing this information for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great tips, Sid.
Yeah. So home office is a good one. It's a big one. If you're independent contractor, self-employed, or have your own business, you should absolutely look at getting your home office deductions in order.
Boom.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was a quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like our little bite-sized ones.
Yeah, little helpful tips, tidbits
business
here and
owners
there.
are busy, so they're just banging it out.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy. Let us know if you have any other questions on home office deductions, and we can take it from there.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
If you found a bit of inspiration in this episode for achieving your sexy money goals, click the subscribe button on your favorite podcast app or YouTube so that you never miss an episode.